with Sushisto!
Now then, I'm Sushi Stew, and this is the Fuck's Sake podcast, and with my mate, Peter Sanchez. How's it going?
Yeah, man, yeah, really good, really good.
Good to see you, mate. Yeah, I mean, we're in Decimo, upstairs at the Standard, just across from St Pancras. Maximum cool place.
Yeah, it's
How long
a
you
cool
been
place.
here now?
Now it's about 5 years. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the fifth birthday this July, but I've been on the project probably about 6 years.
Yeah.
So it's a long time, man. Considering it only feels like yesterday.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like
surprised when you
crazy.
said that, because I remember when I was sort of staying in London, I stayed at the Standard Hotel, which is a class hotel you need to try and stay if you get a chance.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to eat a Decimo. But and it wasn't ready at the beginning, was it? It was still a building site for a long time, because it's like
Very
it's a
long
serious project building this place.
I think it was
out.
like 5-6 years in the making.
Really?
Definitely over budget, over time. They were supposed to deliver probably about 2 years prior to opening. So it was very anticipated in a weird way, but it was worth it, and you could see why it was so delayed just because it's so intricate. Everything about it is
Everything's opulent. I
so
remember you
much
telling me
design.
about the bar, and like you
Yeah.
have to get like a boat
Yeah,
builder
yachtsman,
to make
yeah.
it or something.
Yeah, proper person who knows how to work wood and bend it and stuff. And that was obviously when they designed it originally. They were like, "Who's going to make this?" And then yeah, they just turned to basically people who make boats. Yeah, and it just came in and bashed it out. But it's crazy.
Have you seen the stairs at Hyde?
Yeah.
It's got that kind of vibe, and it really bespoke, really beautiful.
Yeah, wood's a beautiful thing, and I think the way they've used so many materials in this room as well is like ridiculous. God knows, I've never actually tried counting every single material, but I bet it's in the hundreds and hundreds.
When I try and explain to
Different
people about
types.
this place, I always think, like, if you can imagine somewhere that's like hyper luxurious, but you don't feel like it's posh.
Yeah.
That's probably a good way of explaining it.
I think that's what I loved about this hotel. You know, the ones in the States is always, it felt like, I don't know, it just felt like a home from home, but you knew you were somewhere special, but you knew it wasn't over the top like a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's a little bit like pre-scheduled, pre-ideaed, everyone's a bit like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
generic.
It's not white tablecloths, is it?
This is a bit more like chilled, relaxed. It's like, you know, we take it very serious what we do, but we like to be like welcoming and just you know, accepting people in it to have a good time, enjoy it with their friends, their family, anybody.
We got a DJ going.
Yeah, DJ, yeah, everything.
Part club, part like restaurant, part bar.
It's literally probably about 5 DJ little booths in this whole building, scattered around. It's quite cool. Yeah,
It
it's
is
really,
pretty
really cool.
Yeah, because you've got downstairs, you've got like a bar, like a pub,
Yeah,
double
yeah.
standard where you can get a
Yeah.
wicked burger and chips,
Yeah.
and a pint of nice beer.
Yeah.
You've got a little mini nightclub on the end, haven't you?
Yeah.
Rooftop
Sweeties.
bar.
Yeah, rooftop bar as soon as it hits the
It's
summertime.
January here now, so it's not ideal for that.
No, now it's cold up there, you don't want to be out there.
How did it all come about then? Because obviously you're known for Paco and
Do you know what?
Casa.
I think so. Originally, when I first heard about this hotel, was having a conversation with someone about projects in the future, what they're working on, and what I could potentially jump on and do a restaurant or a collaboration with a hotel or something. And we went through a list of things, and they said the Standard. And I was like, the Standard's open up in London. They were like, yeah, and I was like, okay, this is really interesting. And the only reason why I found it so interesting, because I already spent a bit of time where I went to New York, I've stood outside, been inside, used the Standard grill and stuff like this, just thought it was a wicked building, the High Line. And then we had an opportunity where there was like little talks about going into Chiltern Firehouse, me and John Ray back in the day. Yeah, like before Nuno obviously went in there.
Yeah.
And we went down there to go and see it as a building site and talk about
I
the
always
move
say
to
that these
London.
two places have got a similar vibe.
Yeah, because basically it's the same owner, the original guy, Andre. He started the Standard.
What's his
Yeah,
name?
Balash.
Balash, that's it.
Yeah, I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah.
But he started the Standard, and then obviously had his like kind of boutique-y places like Chateau Marmont, Chiltern Firehouse, the Mercer in New York.
Yeah.
So the Standard was like a cool, fun place for him, I think. And yeah, this is the first one what was coming over here. So already talking and having that connection, and then going, could we do a London restaurant? I was like, man, I'm
That's
in.
the place for it.
So as soon as I seen the designs of this room, I just went, okay, this looks like it's got something like South American about it, like Southern American. What can I use? And I was like, of course, it's time what I
Wait a
spent in
minute,
Mexico.
so you just looked at this room and thought it had that vibe?
As a digital plan, because obviously
Really?
it wasn't built. It was
So
like it was all staging. It wasn't like there wasn't any interior.
So the South American thing wasn't
No.
pre-decided?
No.
You just looked at the 3D CAD on it?
Because it was Sean Houseman who was designing the whole hotel.
Right.
And you're like, this guy is going to be designing a restaurant where you could potentially open. Amazing.
Yeah.
You ain't going to quibble with it. You're going to go, oh, I want to start changing the direction.
It's big as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. And you know, the whole hotel has been, it was delayed obviously as a project. So, you know, there wasn't really time to start messing around and changing the design. And who was I to come in and change the design of the restaurant? Like, I'm a chef. All right, I have restaurants and I've done my own interiors, but I'm nowhere near at the level of this guy. So as soon as I seen the digital plans, I was like, okay, this is what I could do with this information, what I learned when I went to Mexico, because I spent a week there in like Baja with this wicked chef, Diego, and he gave me like a bit of a masterclass, and it was before the whole Mexican food really had a hype. And I was like, do you know what? They basically, once I spoke to them, they loved Paco tapas, and they understood that Casamia is its own thing.
Yep.
It's an avant-garde restaurant. And then you have Paco Tapas, what is still a Michelin star, even granted both of them had it. And they were like, that's this easygoing kind of place. We love this cuisine. So I was like, right, I'm going to put Paco's DNA in here, but we're going to add Mexican cuisine to it.
Yeah.
To the repertoire of ingredients and the repertoire of the dishes, what we can build. There we go.
I thought the guys that who designed it just listened to the Arctic Monkeys song 4 stars out of 5, where they put a taqueria on the roof. It got well reviewed.
He might have done. He might have done. If we had him here in this little chat, he might say he listened to that. Yeah, that's fucking funny. I never thought about
man. Should we have a go on this sake? I know, like.
Yeah, man.
I've just brought a few new ones down today, and I just thought you're the first person to try it. So.
I know there's a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna taste a load of sake later on.
This is amazing, though. I love sake.
I went to Japan in the summer last year. I went for about 12 different breweries all over Japan. I went Tokyo for a bit, but that was just more for a bit of business. Then I went to a place called Shirahama, which is in Wakayama, which is where all the a lot of fruits grow, especially umeboshi. So you get a lot of fresh fruits, but you get a lot of omishu and stuff like that. So I did a load of sake breweries down there. Went across to Okayama, which is the home of omachi rice, and I ended up in Kanazawa, which is like really old school, like luxury place. It was like on a level with Kyoto back in the day. It's fallen off the map because it never got on the bullet train line.
Oh wow!
So it's still quite like.
Isn't that
different?
funny, the bullet train line?
Yeah.
It's like that's a thing, isn't it?
If it wasn't
you don't think about it.
It's like Sheffield getting passed up for the HS2.
Yeah. Change everything,
Well,
wouldn't
it was, Kyoto was number 1, Kanazawa was number 2. Tokyo
wow.
wasn't anything at the time. Really.
Yeah.
Just a sort of a town, a small village. Not a small village, but small.
Really?
And now Kanazawa's like 33rd.
Wow.
But they've actually just reconnected it to the bullet train, and that's how we got there. Anyway,
Okay.
This is Okayama, which is the place I went to first, which is where the best rice for sake is grown, which is called omachi.
Yeah.
So people say that Yamada Nishiki is like the best rice for sake, but Yamada Nishiki is actually like a strain that was developed from omachi. It's better because it's easy to harvest, which makes it cheaper. But actually, this is the real deal. It's just a bitch to work with.
Yeah.
So this is really cool, guy. It's called Juhachi Zakari.
Is it like a little tiny place where they make it?
This one.
Because I imagine the
This
rice
one,
fields.
yeah.
Do they own their own rice fields, or do they?
It's kind of like a sort of a
already?
collaboration with all the local farmers, and the rice farmers traditionally used to go and make the sake. So they do the farming, then they do the harvest, then they turn into the sake makers. They're the same people.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit different with automation and like rice planting machinery, harvesting machinery. You get like people who are just the sake makers. Like this, but this guy, you'll still get like workers who come in for a short amount of time for extra labour and stuff. But when I went, there's just like one guy who owns this place, and he's the main toji, they call it, is the guy who makes the sake. So everything's done by hand.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's try it. I hope it tastes good, because it's just come off a shipping container yesterday.
Yeah, man.
You hear all the gas come out of that one then?
Yeah, that was gassy.
Interesting, eh?
Wonder if it's got a little bit of bubbles to it. No. Well, it smells great.
Yeah. Sweets, bubblegum, fruits.
See, this is the thing.
It's wild, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah.
Man, this is the thing, is like sake is without a shadow of a doubt probably one of the most underrated wine pairings at this moment in time in this country.
It's not going to stay that way though, is it?
No, I don't reckon, man. I reckon what you're doing and what you're building into it by introducing everybody to different sakes, because that's the thing, most sommeliers don't really know anything about really much information about sake.
There's no rush, is there?
No, mate, but I think like, you know, like man, it's mad. Like the flavours are mad with this. So you can make dishes.
You've just got rice and you've got yeast and you've got koji and water. That's it.
And I think when it comes to like dessert, because certain sakes have certain levels of sweetness in as well.
Yeah.
You know, you can change the dish entirely just because you're going to add the sweetness from this sake if you're pairing with it.
Yeah.
Because you know, like sometimes it's like, do we do wine pairings and stuff with food just because it's like, you know, a way of revenue and a way of making money, and we try our very best to pair things together, but really the chefs don't necessarily build a dish around the wine. It does happen, but really the dish comes first, then it's spoken about, then it's lots of tastings of wine to see what really works well with the dish. Whereas I know, like sometimes when I played around with dessert wines and stuff like this, so this is when I'm talking about having like dosage and sugar added to it. Obviously this, would it have sugar?
No, none.
Yeah, so that's super interesting. So the fact to be able to use this as a seasoning, essentially, sugar, in a dish, in a savoury dish, because it's so savoury in itself, in its own right.
There's a lot of sakes that are like, they're meant to taste like not much. They're meant to be just like eating in the same mouthful as some food, and then it becomes part of the dish.
Oh, it's amazing.
When you drink them on their own, they're a bit odd. Like this one is one that you could probably drink on its own, as like you would drink wine though. So it's a bit different, isn't it?
It's amazing, it's so good. I just want to eat some, I'm not going to lie, I do want to eat some sushi right now. It would be so definitely. Nice.
I had a massive pepperoni pizza for my breakfast today.
Did you? Yeah. Fucking hell.
I've been
That's
eating
a bit
loads.
much. What, you just had it left over? Or
No. I had like, I've been eating loads of like, because I'm in London at the moment, I'm trying to hit all these really nice restaurants, which is great. All these like little bits of delicate food.
Yeah.
And I keep walking past on Tottenham Court Road. I keep walking past this really like greasy looking pizzeria where everyone, all the workers like who are working all the roads or whatever, they're all sat in there and they're all scranning these pizzas constantly. And I looked up, it was like $3.99 for a pizza in central London, eating in. What? Right, yeah. So I was like, what's going off there? And I looked online and like, everyone's saying it's banging. And my hotel, the breakfast is shit. So I was like, I'm going to have a fucking massive pizza for my breakfast today.
What, so you could actually order the pizza in the morning?
No, I went to it.
But it was actually open?
Yeah, it opens at 10 a.m.
Fucking
It was rammed.
A pizzeria open at 10 a.m?
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah, why not?
That's pretty
Knocking
genius.
Knocking out cheap, central.
Yeah, nice. So was it nice?
It was great, mate. Yeah, it was spot on.
Fair play.
The proper like hand stretching it all, chucking it all in the air, you know. Not for sure, but like just to bang them out.
And how much was the pepperoni? Because I imagine that was a bit more.
Pepperoni with black olives, anchovies, red chilies, chili oil was a tenner.
Oh yeah, see it goes. Yeah. But it's still cheap though.
Yeah, God, it's fine. Yeah.
Fair
that was
play.
my breakfast.
Yeah, I haven't had nothing today.
Well, that's the problem.
I've only had a coffee. Oh no, actually, I had one of my missus' little date protein ball things.
Oh great.
There weren't really protein in there.
Sounds great.
I know, mate. It's actually all right.
Was
it's
it?
Not that bad. Yeah, it's quite tasty.
I went to St John's a couple of days ago for the first time for lunch.
Yeah.
And I went away with a load of their Eccles cakes. Have you had them before?
What, in St John's?
Yeah.
I think I have, but it was so long ago. Yeah. I know anything what they do. I've had their Madeleines. I love St John.
I've never been before. Like everyone raves about it.
Really, that was your first time?
Well, there's so many places to go, isn't there?
Yeah,
it's
there
like,
is.
I've never been.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah. So I just thought of, after I went and saw Tom down at Pearly Queen, because it's up the street.
Yeah.
We did a little tasting there, and then I was like, where should I go for some lunch? Because he was closed. And he's like, well, St John's only up the street. And actually, it's not crazy expensive either.
No.
You know, like, I mean, it's not cheap, but it's like, I had like 2 courses, a drink, and I took the takeaway Madeleines, and the Eccles cake was less than 50 quid, including the tip.
Yeah, I've always.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good value, St John. I've always been like, this is the first recommendation to anybody who's coming into London who's never eaten St John. I'm like, go to St John. Yeah. You will not be disappointed. You will love it.
I think it's good value. We're chatting quite a bit about value and like when you're going out, and we were talking about the way the industry's changing, and people can't afford to just drop 300 quid on a one-off menu regularly, can they?
No, it's expensive. This is the thing. We're just in this moment of time where you know, the cost of everything, going to the supermarket, you know, every single month you're looking back on it going, I swear that was cheaper last month.
Yeah.
What? Why
I call it the pine nut
so much?
index.
The pine nut index.
So when you go to the supermarket, I always look at pine because they're fucking expensive, aren't they? Right?
Yeah, but yeah,
really
they're
tasty. How
always
much
so
are pine nuts?
expensive.
And they're always expensive, but they're always even more expensive every time I look. It's the pine nut index.
Do you know what? That's one thing I always cut out is buying pine nuts because I'm always like, they're so expensive. And then once upon a time, the chef in the kitchen, I always remember he was like, all I can taste is bitterness. And then he for 2 days he went on about it. And then he Googled it and he went, chef, do you know what it is? It's the fucking pine nut custard what we make. Apparently you can have one rancid or something in the pine nut and it can make you taste bitter for like a week or 2 weeks.
I heard about
and
that.
I was like, what? And then it actually happened to me.
Oh, really?
And I was like, so we just tend to always stay away from pine nuts now. But they are so expensive as well. Just get a cashew, mate. It's cheaper, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, a lot of the pestos and stuff, the cheaper ones, are made with cashews if you look at the
Yeah,
ingredients.
it's just cashew.
I used to work
Slam
in this
that
like
in it.
little, like sort of local pub when I was a kid as a waiter, 15, and they had like a pizza section, and it had a massive big, like a mise en place tin full of pine nuts. And whenever no one was looking, I used to just grab a handful.
It. Be like, that's £5. But even back then, now it'd be like bloody, that's 10 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah, pine nuts are, yeah, they're pretty spenny. Yeah, no, cashew, mate. Stick to the old.
Should we try another booze?
Yeah, man.
I'll grab one from over there. That's quite sweet, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was sweet, but it was nice.
Yeah.
Really, really nice, man.
Give this bad boy a
I mean,
go.
I don't think I've ever had a sake where I've gone like, that's really shite.
Oh, really?
Like, seriously? Maybe it's only because I've ever drunk really good sakes, but I don't know what an entry-level sake tastes like.
Well, you've got, like, in Europe,
we have it over here,
not
do
really,
we?
because it doesn't really make sense to export it and then pay all the import tax and everything.
Yeah, just to have cheap.
table wine,
and
it
it
ain't
ain't
really
gonna be
worth
cheap.
it.
Yeah, it's always
So you
gonna
might
be
as well
good
start
stuff.
at the beginning of premium, really.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to drink it out of a nice glass, you know, like.
So in Japan, do you find that there's just the like local sake, what they're just slamming out at their kind of version of a local bistro?
Yeah, definitely. You can just.
But I imagine it's still nice there, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just different, you know. A lot of people just drink beer in Japan, you know. Like my mate likes. It's funny. He says whenever he goes out, he orders champagne.
Oh yeah.
In
nice.
Japan.
Yeah.
Fair enough, mate.
Yeah.
Gangster.
As you do, mate.
Yeah, or red wine,
All
Burgundy.
the way from France.
It's
or
exotic.
Burgundy.
Yeah. Madhead. Right, this one's called Yanagi from Tsukino Katsura. It's Jumai Ginjo, so it's like almost top tier. But yeah, this one's absolutely banging. Give this one a try.
Oh well, you've had this one.
Sorry?
The last one, was that the first time you tried that?
That's not the first time I tried it, but we literally got the shipping container arrive yesterday.
Okay, so you haven't tried it.
I haven't
whilst
tried
it's
it,
been
see how it's
shipped.
travelled and whatever,
Yeah.
but I think it's alright, so that's good. That's good news, because it's bloody expensive to do it.
How do you know when sake's gone? Is it just lifeless?
It starts tasting like sort of like weirdly vinegary.
Yeah.
There's a few different things that happen to it, really, to be honest. Yeah, let's give this one a try.
It's not so much on the nose.
You don't get any nasty bitter aftertaste. I think a lot of people think that sake is a bit like vodka, you know, really alcoholic, but it should be about, the cheaper ones are about 14%, some are 12 if they're really cheap, but like proper sake is about 16%. I think this is about that. It doesn't taste strong, does it?
No, but you know it's probably a bit of a weapon. You drink a bit. It's always that famous thing, isn't it? When you see like a Japanese guy who's like absolutely drunk in one of those bars going, hey!
There's a mint.
And you just picture him drinking sake all night long.
There's a mint. There's a mint Instagram account called Shibuya Meltdown that I follow. Check it out if you get a chance. It's just basically people getting wrecked in Tokyo.
Really?
Like laying in a bush or whatever.
Brilliant.
Or like going on the train.
Do you reckon it's because they feel quite safe getting wrecked? I mean, we do it over here, but it's got to be your local place. Like, you wouldn't really find. Well, do we?
I don't know. I think it's obligation to like go out when you don't want to go out. Maybe after work drinks.
Yeah.
And then
They're drinking
tired.
60, going, that don't taste very alcoholic.
Scranny.
Caning it, and then suddenly,
Yeah. That's it.
It's probably exactly
long
what
form
it is.
drinking and all, isn't it? Because you're drinking and eating food, which is a good thing. But if you're drinking like over a long period of time,
Yeah.
you're going to get pretty messy, aren't you?
Yeah. That's just nice, but like the mouth. On the mouth, it just screams some kind of like savoury levels we do not get in any other drinks.
Yeah.
You just don't get it. It's not even close. That's probably like the only way I could describe it. Is like you get this level of umami, like
It's that
like an
koji vibes,
undertone,
isn't
but
it?
like it's just so man. It's just so nice. It's so delicious.
I think it's important for it to be accessible to people, you know. And I think you could give that to someone who's not really in, you know, like you're a foodie, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
you're into flavour, so you're always going to be open to trying and interested in different things, aren't you? Like mezcal's quite challenging. You've got loads of
very
mezcals here in
challenging.
it.
Yeah.
And I can imagine like my mum wouldn't like mezcal.
Yeah, whoa. Everybody who normally tries mezcal for the first time, they're just like, whew,
Kick
that's
in the
different.
face, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because of the smokiness. Like most of the time, it's the smokiness, isn't it? By the way they produce
Yeah.
it.
It's got that sort of.
Just becomes, and it's intense. It is like the alcohol level's high. So.
What is it? Like 40%?
Yeah, like easily. Yeah,
Is it?
probably go up as well if you
I
go
had
to Mexico.
60.9% whiskey at Chiltern Firehouse last week.
Really?
Yeah, Auchentoshan something or other. No, was it Auchentoshan? Aberlour, sorry, Aberlour, Speyside one. I like my whiskies. And yeah, I got the bottle to have a look at it. It was fucking insane, mate. It was delicious. Like,
Was it right there? Was it like?
delicious,
did it feel
yeah.
that strong?
Yes. 60.
Yeah, that's high, man.
Yeah.
That's high.
My dad used to brew some dodgy little. We used to have a pub in the 90s in Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And I used to live above it. And they used to brew something under the counter called Ye Old Brain Damage. And that was like way over 60%.
Whoa.
For lock-ins only, like.
Oh, only lock-ins. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. They're just like, come on, lads, let's get it out.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Messy
that's
Huddersfield
strong.
nights.
That's strong. Yeah, man, I don't. Yeah, moonshine, proper moonshine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wonder how strong sake can actually go.
Well,
Probably goes up to. What's the max?
usually, like, there's a thing called Genshu. So Genshu means undiluted. Mm-hmm. So I've got a Genshu over there. We've got like a big sort of chiller of like booze on the go over there. It's a Honjozo. Honjozo is like with alcohol added. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be stronger. That just means that when they brew it, they add alcohol back into it and then dilute it afterwards,
Okay.
right? So anyway,
But diluting it, when you say
with
diluting
water.
it, everyone. Oh, yeah, with water.
Yeah. But the Genshu ones, they don't dilute it, they just leave it full strength. And the maximum strength you tend to get out of Genshu, which is undiluted, is 20%.
Okay. So
Apparently it's
not,
the strongest non-fortified alcohol out
probably
there.
quite nice though,
Might be
actually.
so true, actually. Yeah,
That'd be
this one's
interesting
fire.
to
It's
try.
much more savoury. It's quite hard hitting.
Have you got that with you?
Yeah, we'll give it.
Oh,
We'll
wicked.
give it a smash.
Yeah, let's give it a little tipple. I love it. You're just constantly walking back and forth.
Wicked bottle that one
What
as well,
present
innit?
have we got next? Yeah, man. I mean, I wish I could understand what it says.
It just says this sake is banging.
Yeah, this
That's what
sake
it says.
is banging. What is it like? Like their logo looks like it's actual, like writing as well. So
That's a kanji for sake because it kind of looks like a bottle. See what it? See, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
barrel sort of. So that's the kanji for sake. I can't really read the other one, especially not from here. But yeah, this guy called Sankanchuzo, a really young guy. His dad used to have a sake brewery in Okayama, but it closed down.
I love it. It's like a pregnant
Yeah,
woman. It's
don't
like,
do that.
they don't have that on ours, do they?
They're
That's
our
your
logos,
labelling
yeah,
there,
yeah, we
isn't it?
put all this-
You have to put that on.
Yeah, we put like a QR code on it and like all the tasting notes and stuff. So, yeah. So this is called Sankanchuzo, right? So his dad owned this sake brewery. His family did, and it closed. And his dad like died or he retired. I can't remember, one of the two. And he was off doing something else, I think marketing or something in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I don't want the sake brewery to get knocked down because it's hundreds of years old. You know, like beautiful old wooden building. So he decided to sort of reopen it. It was called 2 Crowns. Sankan means 3 crowns because it won like best sake of Japan twice over the years. And his idea is that he wants to make it like best sake of Japan for the 3rd time. So it's called it 3 Crowns.
Really?
So it's kind of aspirational. But like it's a team of really young sort of like sake makers doing everything by hand. So this is a Genshu like we talked about. This one's 20%.
Yeah.
So this is quite strong for a sake.
Yeah.
It's also only a Honjozo, which is like the entry level of premium, but they make it all by hand. So even though in the classification it's kind of like a bit low grade, it's still really interesting. You try.
This one before, is this, what level are we talking?
That's sort of the one down from the very top.
Yeah.
That's called Junmai Ginjo. The problem with it all is that you can get like the highest level of refinement from a polishing point of view. You know when they polish the husk off the rice?
Yeah.
But then you've got other factors like, has it been mass produced or has it been handmade by a local little expert? What are the ingredients? What's the terroir? What's the water like? You're like, what's the heritage? So there's loads of different other dimensions to it besides just that polishing grade.
Yeah.
So anyway, so these are all like kind of nice little fancy handmade ones, but this one's cool.
So interesting.
This is
So
different,
interesting,
yeah. Like doing a few podcasts now, and always seem to just end up getting rat-arsed on sake. There's a bit of a bit of a theme. Is what it is, isn't it?
I like it.
Bit
I
more
mean, it
yellow,
could be
this one.
worse.
Could
Is
be
that
worse.
something they just used? Like they've put on there as
Oh,
in
right,
like
yeah,
a
so it's
guide?
like
Is
a-
that like a thing?
Yeah, there's like a grid like that.
Yeah.
With how does it go? Like sweet and dry and stuff like that. I forget the dimensions on it. We actually use quite a few different ones besides that. That's like the standard one. But we put things like the sake meter value, and then we put amino acid level, we put acidity on it.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can really grade it and you can get a good bit of information for the sommelier. It's a bit of like coffee with information over.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. I just seen aromatic, complex,
There you go.
elegant, rich, and it's kind of like, yeah, that fucking do right there.
Yeah.
It's a dot.
But it's actually scientifically measured.
Yeah,
that, you know,
I imagine.
using-
But it
yeah.
looks so simple.
Yeah,
But I'm
it's-
like, but surely Japanese don't just go, yeah, mate, we're just rated right there.
This one's pretty yellow actually when you look at it out loud.
Yeah, wow.
Smells funky, doesn't it?
That proper
It
smells,
smells
like a
like-
bit of koji.
it smells a bit
obviously,
cheesy, doesn't it?
it's- Yeah, but like that smell, that fermentation.
It's well funky, that one. I really like that one.
That's nuts.
So that's the premium, you know, the sort of like the categories.
Wow.
Don't forget about them.
It's
Once you get into
changing
the-
as well.
Once you get into the artisan stuff, it's just like different thing. You kind of need someone. I need like someone to recommend you a good one. You know, that's why I think sommeliers are gonna, when we get the training done right, they're gonna really be able to help a customer with pairing and things like that.
Yeah. Because what's the kind of dessert where they do it with like egg and soy, but it's kind of sweet. Isn't there like a dessert? What they do?
Oh, like a little omelette, a little like you get out as a final course of a sushi
Yeah.
restaurant.
It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Bloody name for it now, actually. Anyway, yeah.
Well, whatever the name is.
Yeah. I make that little like omelette for breakfast with the mirin and the soy in it.
Yeah, I don't know, but it just reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an egg thing. What I've had.
Nice. Right. I want to know about Casa. What's the plans?
Wow.
Wow.
Casa or Casamia?
Yeah.
Which one?
Which one? Take your pick, mate.
Casamia, innit?
Yeah.
Finding the site, the right place.
What
I think
happened
that's
to
the
the
first
original
thing.
site that you were in before?
So the original
What's
one
in
was
there
it was a combination. So yeah, the original Casamia was, you know, we started life in Westbury Trim, what was
Yep.
like our mum and dad's restaurant.
Yep.
Me and my brother, we then took it over, evolved it, turned it into a gastronomic restaurant. What you can only imagine going from like a traditional Italian restaurant. Well, when I say traditional, it's like traditional in Bristol.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
pizza,
yeah.
pasta, lots of chicken
It's what
dishes.
It's a business though, isn't it? And I bet it's what people
Yeah,
wanted,
yeah,
right?
it was, man. It
Yeah,
was. It really,
yeah.
really, truly was. And the reason why it gets confusing is because my dad is Spanish.
Sure.
Some people think he's Italian, but I'm like, no, he's Spanish. He's about as Spanish as Spanish gets. He worked in Italian restaurants for like 25, 30 years in Bristol.
Really?
Because it was like you came over from Spain, you either went to manor houses and did it, like, so you worked in a local manor house, hotel rooms, very silver service led.
Yep.
Or it was like you go and work in Italian restaurants
Yeah.
because Italian restaurants were the vibe back then. It was the new thing.
You had like Chinese restaurants,
Yeah.
Indian restaurants.
Yeah, and he didn't look Chinese, he didn't look Indian, so
Didn't he?
yeah, he had to basically just go over to
It was
the
different
Italian
age,
side.
weren't it? Different
But that's the
times.
thing, yeah. Everybody was just like, you're Mediterranean, fine, you fit in with an Italian restaurant.
6 and 2 3s, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, exactly. So, yeah, we went in that whole transition. We obviously moved the location.
When did you start working there yourself?
Like in 2000.
How old are you
and
then?
Prior to that, when we opened it in 99, I was like helping out doing KPing and stuff.
So you came straight out of school almost?
I left school, mate, to go into there pretty much full time.
What, you didn't finish school?
Didn't finish school.
Did you not?
Yeah, so I got to my year 11s. We basically had this whole thing where we used to live in one location. Our school was relatively close. We had to get like a 20-minute bus, but it was like one school bus, bang, straight to school. Great. Then we moved to Westbury-on-Trym, where they opened the restaurant, and I had to get 2 like normal buses, then get the school bus.
Wow.
So basically what would happen, because Bristol bus services were so shit back then, they still are pretty shit, the times are off. As soon as you miss one by like a 2-minute delay, you'll just watch the other one go past you and sail off. So I was getting basically stuck in Whitchurch, going, how am I going to get to school from here? It's either getting a taxi, even my mum would have to drive all the way from Westbury-on-Trym to come pick me up to take me to Chew Valley. So it just got a little bit silly within like the first 9 months, 12 months, and we just went, I know what I want to do. I want to be a chef.
Yeah.
I love food.
It's worked out, hasn't it?
And they were like, look, you can basically, there was a way of getting out of school, but I had to go to college. So it fitted in perfectly, really. Like, yeah, well, you love food, you want to be a chef.
Yeah.
You can go to college.
Did you go
start
catering
studying
college
it. Yeah. Back then, I don't know what it's called now, but it's at MVQ3. And just got chucked straight into that whole world.
Yeah.
I was already a bit behind everybody because I started in like late October, and then I just kept working in the restaurant as well as going to college. That was full time, just in the daytime, but at night times I would work in a restaurant, and then just kept building and building. Before you know it, I was like almost probably just turning 18. The head chef walked out one night. I never had a choice but really take over the kitchen and just run with it.
I think a lot of restaurants, you just got to be the most reliable person in the kitchen, aren't you?
Yeah, mate, yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much half the battle.
Do you not think that with that creativity, we're like really, really creative in Britain, I think, compared to a lot of places. But do you want loads and loads of creative people in the kitchen, or do you just want people to turn up and chop
That's
the fucking
a very,
onions?
very good question. I think if you're creative, you're always going to be challenging everything, because you're looking for something to be creative.
Yeah.
You know, it's like having a blank canvas. You want that blank canvas all the time. So, yeah, I don't know. From a creativity in the kitchen, it's like, let it all fucking burn everything, get rid of everything, and let's rechange everything. So, having too many creative people can become obviously problemsome after time, I suppose. But you know, you need bodies of people just love to just cook, and they're quite happy just doing that day in and day out, without a shadow of a doubt. But at the same time, you know, you need a level of like a creative person to bounce off of.
Yeah.
So if you've got a whole team of creatives, but they know they need to put the work in. I think nowadays we're just getting into we're getting to that point, or I am in my age, where I understand that people have to move on. And if you're going to move on, I just want people to do amazing things. So I'm like, man, if you're here for a year or 2 years, brilliant, that'd be fantastic. But when you move on, do something amazing. It don't mean open up your own thing necessarily, but it just means go on to an even better place, or somewhere challenging where you're going across the world and you're going to learn a whole new culture and a whole new cuisine. That's the way I always want to see it. So I want to see people push on forward. And once you become comfortable with that, then it's okay, because traditionally in the kitchens it was like, you're not going nowhere because you know this job, but I got to explain this to someone else. That takes time. It takes a long time to build that relationship together, to know where, because the kitchen's like going into war, it's like going into battle. You don't want to change your fucking team when you're about to go into war. And you're doing that every single day.
Do you think you're lucky because you're attracting quite dynamic, hard-working people? Because I think
now, now, but back in the day it was not, because you were an unknown person, so it was really hard to kind of, you know, show yourself. There wasn't like a showcase, a way of showcasing what you did. Now you have the platform of social media. Back then we never had none of it. Like, our only form of social media was reading the Caterer or the restaurant magazine.
Yeah.
That was the only real way of understanding or knowing what other people were doing.
And they're usually paid features, aren't they? So like, you're only going to see the sort of what people want you to see. You're not going to see the real side of it.
So it was like very restrictive, and I always felt like it just took a long time. Now you never cooked in a professional kitchen before?
No, never.
If you decided to open up something next week, cooking with all your ingredients, and you just managed to find a way, and you took great photos of it, and you had a few people say it's amazing, and you're posting things up on Instagram, you can blow up within the year period, like anything.
Do you not think that that's a bit of a double-edged sword at the moment? Because I see like some people, like during COVID, I saw people like doing a pop-up stall or whatever in like Manchester, and they've got like 1,000 people queuing up the street for brownies or like donuts or whatever.
Yeah, it's because you couldn't fucking buy none at the supermarket, it's all sold out.
But you don't think it's got like, with that you've got such a short burn time?
Yeah, that's
you get 1 million followers on TikTok and then like...
This is the thing, if you don't understand restaurants and you've never worked in restaurants before...
You're still here 24 years later, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. There's an infrastructure to it, and there's an understanding of how it operates on a day-to-day basis, how you're going to look like in a year's time. So without that understanding and the information or the knowledge, that could be very difficult. It was difficult for me when I first took over. Even though my parents like had the restaurant, they were like novice to it. My dad worked in Italian restaurants as like a head waiter, but he never owned his own restaurant before. Everything was a learning curve. I remember the first night, they were like, fuck, where do we put all the checks? And they were like, I don't know, we're just going to have to just like sellotape it up against the wall just to keep an eye on where all the tables are, because it was, fortunately, it was that busy.
Well, if you don't know about getting the little, what's it called?
And I was like, Dad, you've worked in restaurants for like all your life, like for the last 25 years. What, did you not think? And he's like, son, there's a million things. There's so many things you got to learn. Sorry, that was my dodgy Spanglish, whatever it is, accent. It was just, it's a lot, man, and there's a lot of detail to running a restaurant, a lot of things what can go wrong, and you don't have time to rectify it. It's not like all the websites gone down, shit. It's like our customers are there, right there in front of you. There's no getting away from that.
You can't just go, I've got to just go and do some coding for half an hour.
Yeah, you can't just go, guys, we're going to be back like soon. Ish.
You need that. Remember the old on BBC Two where you used to have the girl with the blackboard and the teddy?
Yeah. That.
Put one of them up for her. So when did you take over from your parents then? Was that 2000 or?
So probably like officially, we never really took over. I think at the time it was like 2003 or 4. No, probably earlier than that actually, 2002. Sorry, my timeline's a bit off. So I've already like kind of taken over the kitchen because I'm almost just turning 18. Well. But at the same time, John Ray had to come and help me as well.
What was he doing?
He was working in front of house. He didn't know what he was doing.
So
he studied basic graphic design, left school as well, not because of the same circumstances. His circumstances was he was just a naughty boy. He was like a bit of a menace, and teachers didn't know how to deal with him. So he left school early. But no, he went actually back a year, in school, and then he ended up leaving, what was kind of quite funny. So from there, he went to college to study graphic design, because he was like, I want to get into graphic design.
I did graphic design at college.
I love typography and all this.
It's great.
But he got to a point where he was like, I don't really know, this is not really what I envisioned.
Yeah.
And he just went, what can I do? And in the meantime, he was working at the restaurant just to make some money for him to go out on the weekend and enjoy himself and be a lad. And at the same time, one night, again, another chef down from me didn't turn up. I was like, you're gonna have to help me because we got like 50 covers booked. So we came into the kitchen and literally that was it. After that day, we were side by side in the kitchen till God knows when. Well, until he passed, obviously. That's a sad thing.
Yeah.
But we questioned so much because we were together in the kitchen. We were pushing for something what the restaurant should have never have really been pushing for, because it was busy, it was doing well.
So why were you doing it?
Because we were questioning everything. We were like, where did
that come from though? Why did you start questioning everything? Why?
Just because I think
if you're already full, why were you doing it?
Because it was always like, what's a fresh artichoke instead of like a tinned artichoke? What was like, instead of making this pizza dough with yeast, can we start doing ferments?
Really?
Question everything basically to do. The pastas, why are we buying it dry? Let's make fresh. And the thing is, we were pushing it so much, then we got into like the world of cuisine, and we discovered Thomas Keller, Ferran Adrià, Heston Blumenfeld, and you were like, okay, this is what's going on in the world of food. And of course, me and him were like kind of really art, like we love our art, we love music, we love anything to do with design and all this. So of course we looked up at those guys as chefs and we were like, it's amazing, it's incredible. So we wanted to take the restaurant further than what needed to be, what we wanted it to be, but the restaurant didn't need to be that at that moment in time. So it made us then question.
Did you need something like that, do you think?
We needed something like that. So we were like, the only way we're going to do this, we can't go and work for someone because everybody else is basically in Bristol in kind of the same boat. There was only like one other chef, who was Chris Wicks, who was like doing something avant-garde, but he already had his team and everything. So we were like, we're going to have to just go and open up something ourselves. So we started looking for a restaurant.
Right. As well as the family restaurant that was still going?
Yeah, the family restaurant's still going. So we're working there. We're trying to find a restaurant.
And where was the location of that again?
That was in Westmere-on-Trim in Bristol. Okay. So it's just on the like outskirts of the centre, just in like a lovely little quaint village. And so we went on and on. And anyway, we ended up in Cheltenham. What was really a bad idea because we were moving like away from Bristol.
Sure.
And that was kind of already a problem as soon as we did it and we signed and all excited. Oh yeah, great. This is going to be brilliant. We're going to open a restaurant. It's going to be busy from the moment we open the doors. Open the doors, not busy. Shit. Now we got to learn about the business side of things.
Okay.
And this is the thing. When people are successful in what they do, it's easy when you're making money. Very easy. Very, like it runs and it's smooth and everybody's getting paid great. But as soon as you run out of money, that's when the business comes into it. Where do we cut? That's how business should be ran. Where are the margins? You know, why are we not making an increased profit this year? You start questioning all these things. So straight away we had to question the business side of things. But at the same time we were like pushing to the moon, like forward 1,000,000 miles an hour, like just doing crazy times in the kitchen, even just to cook for just 2 people.
Really?
Yeah, and we were like, we're all day going mental at it because we were like, everything needs to be perfect, it needs to be fresh. We didn't really know about, oh fucking hell, we can make tartlet bases and store them in the fridge. They'd still be like homemade and they're still ours, but they will last in the fridge for like 2-3 days, as long as we don't fill it up.
You'd be making them every single day?
We would be making a pastry from scratch every single morning, making the tarts, baking them, blind baking them, filling them, baking them again, and that's just a fucking tart. And then serving it up, serving only like 2 pieces, and then going, well, we have to bin the rest of it because we only want it to be perfect. Yeah, we could have put it in the fridge and just served it the next day, but we were like, I mean, we would try and eat it, we'd take it home, we wouldn't just bin it, but you know what I mean, it wasn't no one was buying it. So we soon realised we just missed Bristol. We love Bristol. You know, you've got to move away from home sometimes to appreciate what you've got and the city. And then
Bristol's great, isn't it? Bristol's like, I'm from Sheffield and I think Bristol and Sheffield got quite a lot in common. Yeah. They're not like fancy places, are they? But there's a lot of vibes.
Yeah, they've got their own culture, man. They got their own feeling, like it's just got a vibe. So we moved back to Bristol. Our mum and dad seen what we did in Cheltenham and they were like, look, we want you to do this. Like, mind you, we came back with loads of debt, so we had to pay that off for like years, for the next 3 years of working in the restaurant.
Right.
But at the same time, Dad was like, do it. I want you to move this restaurant forward and go in a direction because I've seen something truly special. It's funny enough, Michelin, it was their first inspection was in Cheltenham.
For you?
For us, yeah.
Right.
We didn't realise you could phone them and just go, oh, we've opened a restaurant just to let you know, and then, you know, they'll come and check it out.
You don't know what you
don't know,
though,
We thought it was
do
all
you?
this kind of mysterious.
Yeah.
And it is mysterious, of course it's mysterious, but at the same time, you could have just contacted them to say, we are open and we're trying to push whatever it is we're pushing forward. It'd be nice to have you in. It'd be nice to have you in as guests. So anyway, they first seen us, and I just always remember a Michelin inspector looking at chocolate tart. And this goes back to the tart. That's the best chocolate tart I've ever had. Like, probably the best chocolate tart I've ever had. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then obviously he said, they did open up about a few more pointers. They were like, look, I was dining on my own. It took like an hour and a half for me to have a 3-course dinner. We're like, yeah, sorry, we're not that fast yet. We're trying our best. We were in the shit. We had
the other two people to look after.
But anyway, they had a glimpse of what we could do. So as soon as we moved back to Casamia, they basically, we then contacted them, and they came down to have a look at the restaurant, because they already told us, oh, you're going to be in the guide, but you're not going to be in this year's because it's being published next week. That was back in Cheltenham.
So that's just a standard listing?
Yeah, as a standard listing. But we were like,
it's great, isn't it? You know, you're in the guide.
Fucking, a listing is still not something to like just oversee. It's like, you know,
I mean, how many restaurants are there just in London? Like, they're not
that
in the
many.
guide, are they? You know,
yeah,
never
there's
mind
not many
start.
just like plate restaurants. Yeah, in the but up to how many restaurants there is in London is tiny. It's a tiny amount. So yeah, we were super excited, and then from there we just kept pushing it forward, man. And then that was the point when the taster menu came in.
Yep.
And it kind of changed everything, because it was like a la carte was stripping down, taster menu was building.
And what sort of years was this?
Realising people were taking, this is like 2007.
Yep.
2006, 7.
That's when I opened Sushi.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Bro, I wish I would have known you then.
You don't want to be knowing me then, mate. It was all flipping
I imagine it would have been a little bit
stuff
different.
like that.
Was it?
Yeah, just shit, mate. Just shit. Yeah. You know, it's like you look back on what you were doing, and you always, I do anyway, I was like going, what was I thinking?
Yeah, it's
that's what you build on, isn't it?
But then that's the business what grew into what it is today.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
There's obviously a demand for
So when you went back to, it wasn't.
Pasta soup,
That was
noodle soup, whatever.
Yeah. So when you went back to the Casa, this was still in the West, where was it, West, how do you say it, West Beyond Trim?
So yeah, we went back to Westbourne-on-Trim. That's where everything kind of grew.
In the original family restaurant?
In the original family restaurant,
yeah.
And then we had the opportunity to open up in a new location, because our lease was coming to an end. It wasn't like, my mum and dad never owned a freehold to it. I think if they owned a freehold, well, we'd have probably been in a lot better position, because we would have sold up and we would have had the cash and move it on. But at that time, we were thinking about opening another restaurant, like an easier going one. That was Pie Shop, basically, the pizzeria.
Okay, yeah.
So that was like 5 years really within the making. It was just too late. By the time we opened it, there's so many pizzerias doing exactly the same thing in the same year when we opened it. Another story altogether, but anyway. We were looking for a place, and we were going to move down where we live in Portishead, by the marina. We were going to open up Casamia there, do Pie Shop next door. And we were going to go, yeah, now we can do everything we want. The only thing is we never had the money to really see it through. But at the same time, when we were talking about it, someone else got whiff of that we're trying to open a restaurant in a new location. And it was the developers of the building where we are now, the General, called City and Country. They came for dinner and they were like, have you...
I remember seeing them doing that.
Would you come down? Yeah, would you come down and see our place? Because we would love to have you in our building and open a restaurant there. So I remember me and John Ray had taken a drive down there. John Ray was like, why the fuck are we going down there? You know, his time was obviously precious then, but at the same time he was like, why are we going down there? It's a waste of time.
Why
Went there. Well, just because he was like, he just thought it was going to be just like some kind of weird place somewhere where it isn't going to suit the restaurant and blah, blah, blah.
Well, cool.
As soon as he walked through the doors, he was like, I just knew it. He was like, and I could tell he was like, this is amazing. Yeah. This is the place where we should open up Casamia. And of course, because they were doing a development, it was good for them to open up a restaurant underneath. They were able to basically pump a load of money of doing up everything apart from fixtures and fittings, what we were able to fund just to get it kitted out inside. And that was it, the birth of the new Casamia and the new location. And then obviously now forwarding it on to closing it 2 years ago. It's 2 years almost now, I think. Yeah, year before last.
Wow, that's flown, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's flown. It purely came down to, I think we opened up out COVID. We changed everything. We went from white to black. It was always something me and Joe, like the restaurant manager, was talking about. And I was like, look, I can't stretch my time between Paco's this. I want to see Casamia just keep flourishing as a creative restaurant, a creative space. At that time, I was like, I always want to get 3 stars, but I was like, I need to be able to get myself in a position where financially we're sound as like, you know, that always that striving to be financially just like, this is sound, to be able to take a risk in a business, to do something.
How can it be anything else as a business though, you know? It's got to be like, everyone's got to get paid, you know?
you have a responsibility, man. What's a whole nother thing altogether? It's like the responsibility of everybody's life. I know people could go and get jobs and stuff, but you still feel responsible for everybody who's working under you. And
you don't want to be the guy who says, you've got to go and get another job though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing to do as well.
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing. So we got to Casamia and we opened up after COVID, and COVID for restaurants, in our position, we flourished. It was an amazing time.
Yeah.
VAT was low, like, you know, stripped all the way from 5%. Yeah, it creeped up year on year, but we saved a hell of a lot of money that way. The whole country wanted to just go out and eat. So restaurants would just full in times where you used to struggle. So like Thursday, Saturday, Friday lunches, full. It was brilliant, man. It was working so well. And then suddenly reality kicked in. You know, VAT went up, all the cost of everything went up and up and up. Wages, this, that and the other. And it got to a point, reservations going down, down, down. And I was like, this is unsustainable. We're hemorrhaging now money. And we're not going to have money to pump in the restaurant, and it needs more spent on it. We wanted to redo the kitchen, everything like that. And I was like, I don't see how this is going to get any better for the next like 3-4 years. Yeah. And we're looking at Paco's, and Paco's was doing really well.
I was going to say, because you've got more than one restaurant, so you've got more than one data point, haven't you?
Yeah, tapas, the Paco tapas is doing brilliant. We extended it because we had to, within another space in the front because of COVID, because it was so small before. What I was always really reluctant in doing, but I was like, going to have to, because otherwise we're not going to be open. It's not feasible.
Yeah,
we're only
from a legality point of
we
view.
would just like, we could only do like 20 covers at max a night. That's including relays, because it was so small. Was it the 1 meter, 2 meter rule, whatever it was?
It was 2 meters originally,
2 meters,
wasn't it? Yeah.
And
unless you were with someone that was in your group.
So we were lucky we were able to extend in a bit where we closed Pie Shop, the pizzeria, and we were going to open up this new kind of creative bar stroke in between Paco's and Casamia to create like an all-day kind of place where you can go and chill out and enjoy music at night. It was going to be a bit of a listening bar, hence the reason why we had a mega sound system when we went into Casamia, because that was all made for what we were going to call the third, what was going to be in the middle, or third or free, we were still contemplating the exact name. And we then had the opportunity, to just extend Paco's into the space, into the other part of Pie Shop, where we got to redo the bar, have all the wines at the right temperatures, because we had all the Euro caves now, where we never had space before. So just progress it. So that was running well as a business, but Casamia was just going down, and I was like, you can't just keep pumping money every single week just to pay for the overheads and the cost of running. So we made the decision to close. And I was like, I didn't want to close like, we're closing the doors tomorrow. I was like, this is something where we're looking at the cash flow for the next, the next year. And we were like, we're closing 3 months. We'll just have 3 months of enjoying the last days of Casamia. What I thought would be the end of Casamia. I was like,
what, forever?
Yeah, I was like, I love what we're doing in Paco's, and I love what we're doing in Decimo.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're going to do, Casamia kind of fitted. Let's go back to where Casamia started as an Italian restaurant, but let's do like a kind of Paco ethos behind it, but with Italian cuisine and Italian culture. And that's where Casa was then born, because we wanted to change the name, because I was just like, if we keep it the same, it's going to be really super confusing just from a
because people are going to expect
a search engine point of view.
Menus and all
and I was like, it needs to stand up in its own right, but it still needs to have a connection to the past. So it was just like, let's just call it Casa. Just basically getting rid of the Mia part.
It just sounded like a more casual version though, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So it just fitted right, and that is now rocking. But again, you're in an industry what is so hard, and when you're establishing a new business, it is difficult, man. Casa, if we would have opened that during COVID times or just after COVID, like, it would have probably done amazing. Like, absolutely amazing. But at this moment in time, it's still in the early days of building. It's got to build up the reputation. It's got to build up the clientele. We've gone through the kind of first roller coaster. I always call it a bit of a roller coaster, because it goes up, and then it fucking goes down, then it plateaus, and then gradually it goes back up again. And that plateau part is the bit where you need to get over, and You need to build your whole business model around that line where it flatlines, and you go, this is it.
But it's feast and famine, innit? So like the beginning bit, when you're like going, we're blowing up on social media, everyone's coming to see us. Well, everyone's going to come and see you because everyone wants to know what's new and what's happening.
Yeah.
So bank that money.
Yeah.
Don't think that that's where you're at.
Yeah.
And then that's going to pay for the inevitable downfall straight after that.
Exactly.
Before you get to the point where you can hopefully
go back up.
Yeah.
Go back up, man.
Go
and
back
hopefully
up,
you don't go back down.
No, that's it. Yeah, that's the big thing.
So yeah, we've gone through that with Casamia. So it's not an easy fix. I wouldn't say, oh, closing Casamia and then opening up something easygoing is like it's an easy fix. It doesn't necessarily solve the financial problems. It creates, if not more, financial problems. But then you expect that from a business. You have to then keep building. And I always liked businesses go up and up and up and up rather than just up and then it goes down and it really doesn't stop, it just keeps going down. That was like Pie Shop, that's exactly what happens with it.
It's that pop-up mentality really, that, innit? That's okay if you're literally making
That's
it
why
a
people
temporary
can get giddy, because they're like, oh, this could be a business model, what we can now use in a permanent location. But you take on a permanent location, you take on a hell of a lot of financial responsibility. It's just, there's bills and things where you never thought you would have to pay because you didn't factor that into your pop-up cost.
Yeah.
You now are responsible for it.
I was having a chat with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with him yesterday about like the costs of like repairing stuff. So like you've got your GP and then you've got all your costs and whatever, you end up with your net profit, right?
Yeah.
But then let's say your plumbing goes, or he had a real problem with his electrics a long time ago, like all his electrics went off. And that's got to come off your net profit. So like, if you're one of these places that's constantly like reinvesting to put rooms on site, to like redevelop your kitchen, you've got to have a serious wedge of
profit.
GP,
At the end of it.
Just to even end up at zero.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are going...
That's basically what, the most amazing restaurants are doing at the moment. It's like they haven't got a choice because they need so much money to pump into their properties.
But when's that end?
Because that's the thing. It's a never-ending story. But at the same time, that's why they always have to branch out and do something else to make money for their family. Whilst all of that's getting paid for, it's not making no money as a business, as the owner.
So why are people doing it then?
So what it is for me is I always look at it as a foundation to everything what you create and build on top of on top. So without that foundation, everything could fucking crash and burn, most likely.
So it's like the heart of the brand of what the things you're doing.
Everything about the integrity, the reason why people get a little bit excited about the fact that you're going to do something else, or and that's the thing for me. Like I fell into that point where we lost our foundation.
Right.
Paco's and all that, Decimo are amazing in their own right.
Yeah.
They have their own foundation, but at the same time, from my point of view, I'm like, man, when you want to be the best chef in the world, you've got to have the best restaurant.
It's that F1 level, isn't it?
So the best restaurant. What is the best restaurant what do we put that into? It's 3 Michelin stars, man.
Yeah.
Even if you've got the best restaurant in the world on the 50 best, you'll still be like Rennie Rezepi going, I still want 3 stars.
Everyone wants it.
Because that's the kind of that's the thing what I grew up with, the magic. Those moments of looking through pictures, and back then it was obviously the internet wasn't really a big thing. But looking at pictures in magazines and books of Thomas Keller, Heston Blumenfeld, Ferran Adrià, they were all 3-star chefs. That was they were the dream, man, the dream of what you want to achieve. And I thought I would be okay, and I would just go, I don't need that. I've got my family, I've got everything what I possibly want. I'm a happy guy. But man, when you've got something in you, and you want to explore, be creative, you're not going to tell an artist stop fucking painting or stop making bits of art. They're going to go until they die. As long as they can pick up a fucking brush, they're going to do something, or they can use their hands. And I'm like, I can use my hands. I'm still young. I'm like, I've got time. Yeah. And I'm like, and I want to do the very best. Man, I got to reopen Casamia. That's it. I've got to do it. If I don't do it, I will look back in the future and go, it's the one regret you would have in your life. I don't have any other regrets at this moment in time. That is the one regret I will always have on my shoulder, because I would always be like, You never really had the time to explore, to be the very best. Yeah, we did Casamia, but man, when we opened Casamia in this new site, I was opening Pie Shop, I was opening Paco tapas, then Decimo came into the realm. Then dealing with all of everything during COVID and blah, blah, blah. It was a lot, so I never had time to just really immerse myself into that restaurant and give it 100% my time, my dedication. And I was like, I won't be happy until I redo that and I revision it, because you're a creative person, you just want to create great things.
So I suppose Casamia doesn't have to be anything that it has been in the past. What it really means to you is the elite realisation of Peter Sanchez.
Yeah, mate, be able to just express yourself. I think that's it.
At the
very
highest
top
level.
With
and everything else cascades from
else.
that.
It's like you can express yourself. Of course, I can put my expression onto Decimo and Paco's, but at the highest level, when we're saying the highest level, it's like, what's the best I can do? Casamia would be the very best I can do. Mm-hmm. I might not get 3 stars, but I would know and that necessarily isn't a thing.
Yeah.
So when I say 3 stars, it's only to put into people's mind about a picture, like that's the aim. What's the aim?
Yeah.
There's always going to be an aim. I probably will not ever get there, but I would have known that I did the very, very best of what I can do. It's like Joaquin Phoenix trying to get a fucking Oscar, isn't it? It's like, man, you go through realms and you go through like, oh nah, but in the end of the day, man, he wanted it. He wanted it.
Yeah.
It would have been a thing he would look back in his life and go, why did I not?
I mean,
when I had the ability to do it, why did I not do it?
Well, a lot of people haven't got the reason, the why, or the hunger. So they are never, if you haven't got the reason to do it, like you need that, like, if I don't do it, I'm fucking gonna die.
Yeah, a reason to get up in the morning, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not saying that I need that for that extreme. I can get up for my kids in the morning, man, that makes my day. But I want them to be able to see that you can achieve any dream, man, you inspire to be or inspired to do. You can do it, and if I don't try, then how can I pass that on to my kids, that mentality and that thought of going, explore, do your dreams, man, do what you want to do.
You've got to be an inspiration to people around you, to your family. I think there's a really interesting thing in Japanese culture called ikigai. Have you ever heard of it?
Ikigai, no.
So it's one of the main reasons they say why people from, say, Okinawa live the longest of anyone in the world.
Yeah.
So there's 3 aspects to it. One is health, like eating. So it's like eating fresh, fresh seasonal food. So getting a really diverse sort of like healthy diet. The other one is exercise. So they do a lot of like, they grow their own food and then they run their own little allotments, they walk, they cycle. So they've got like 2 aspects of health like there, but also they've got purpose. And you know, if you're 90 and your partner dies, where's your purpose gone?
Yeah.
So you need to have a reason to keep going, and those 3 things all work in tandem with each other.
Yeah.
If you're not exercising, you're not looking after your body. If you're eating shit food, maybe a pizza for breakfast, like
then
the chef's diet. You're never going to really live that long or live that well. You know, and of course you might get knocked over by a bus.
Yeah.
But it's all about stacking the odds in your favour to do the best you can, isn't it?
Yeah, man. There we go. That makes perfect sense to me. And the good thing is we're chefs, so we can control our diet as well within
no excuse
achieving our dream. It's
never
like
trust a fat chef.
The fitness part, yeah, man. Never trust a fat chef. Hell yeah. They would have ate it all. They would have ate all the good stuff, all the good parts.
All the pine nuts.
All the good parts, man. They got the big pig, and they're like, oh, I'll have that bit. I'll have that bit. Oh, I'll serve that bit to the customer.
Right, I'm going to give you something different on the booze side of things, mate. I'm going to try a little fruity one.
A little fruity number?
A little fruity number. In fact, no, I'm not. Changed my mind. We're going to go for this bad boy.
A cloudy one.
Cloudy one.
See, that's the amazing thing as well with sake, is the different colours, the different... Like, you know, wine has colours.
Yeah. You've got grape varieties and you've got styles.
They do have clouds, some wines.
Yeah.
Natural wines. But sake is more like, it is kind of all over the shop, isn't it? But like in a good way.
Yeah. There's just so much to it, like, right. So this one is a It's pretty interesting.
All over the shot. Japanese be like,
all
what do you
over the
mean
shot.
all over the shot?
Especially on that Instagram account. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so this is Junmai Daiginjo, so like the top end of the premium sort of like polishing ratio. But it's unpasteurized, so normally they pasteurize sake because it goes off.
Yeah.
But we kept this, we have to ship this at like 1 degree all the way from Japan.
Yeah.
And it's unfiltered, and it's ever so slightly, I think this one might be ever so slightly sparkling as well.
It's the fermentation.
There you go. Whoop.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give
that's
it a little roll. Easy now, cool little bottle as well, isn't it? Are we safe? Yeah, we're good.
Is that a thing in Japan where you have to give it a roll? Or is that just
Well, if it's one that's like been unfiltered, the Nigori sake or waterfall sake that translates as, then you're going to get more of the sort of bits in the bottom. So it's nice to have it a bit mixed.
Yeah,
let's give it a
makes
try.
sense.
Cheers, big ears.
Cheers, man.
Oh, hey up.
It smells fucking beautiful.
That's funky, that.
I love it, the A up. My missus is saying that now because she's been obviously she sees Gaz every now and again. She goes around and goes, A up. And I go, what the fuck, can? I'm like, you definitely got
We're on
that
the
for
cultural
Gaz.
takeover, mate.
Yeah, that's it. It is, man. Wow. Wow.
Funky, innit? Different again.
Yeah, but it's yeah, man. See, this is the thing. If Casamia reopens, man, I reckon I would go quite deep into sakes.
It's funny, innit? Because it's like
Sakes and sherries, man.
yeah, there's a load of things in there like ports and
reckon?
stuff that people haven't really gone down the rabbit hole like they have with wine and whiskey.
Or just have a champagne that either be like something uber luxury. It was
Yeah.
it Raki do. The Raki does that, don't they? They have quite decadent, or they used to. The wine. If you're gonna have wine, it's like the most decadent wines ever.
Really?
And it's a small list as well.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
We
I
had the sake when I went,
yeah,
but we only
I
had
the
two.
sake. I was like, I wanted the little decanter, and
Oh
it
yeah,
just looks so pretty.
yeah, definitely. You can pick your own little cup in there as well, like they bring
yeah,
a selection
that's right.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have that one.
So going back to the Casa story, like where did the sort of like the first time I remember hearing about you was when you did the TV show, the Gordon Ramsay one.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
there was a Sheffield restaurant called Milestone that was on the same show.
Yeah.
And that was like my first half decent culinary experience in Sheffield because
amazing.
there weren't many
Yeah.
great restaurants back then.
No,
There
I
was all
remember
pub
them
food.
saying it's pretty much.
Yeah, but they were
just
great
that.
back in the day. It's gone
Yeah.
now, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's sad, isn't it?
Yeah. How did
It's
that go?
what it is. Yeah, that was like I was
That was
remember
before
we were just,
GBM. It was before all that, wasn't it?
We had a phone call and saying like, do you want to be a part of this Gordon Ramsay show? And me and John May are like, yeah, okay, what kind of show? And they're like, oh well, we'll have to come down and explain anyway. They came down and actually explained what was quite good of them. They talked us through it, so I was like, well, basically it's kind of like the F word because they did the whole F word the year prior. What was Akhtar? He won it.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so it's like F word best restaurant. And they're like, yeah, but it's a new thing, it's different, blah, 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 blah. And anyway, after they went, we just said, we'll think about it. After they went, we had a little talk and we were like, oh man, Gordon Ramsay's going to absolutely ridicule us. He's going to hate it. He's going to basically just go, this is shit. But in his own language, you know what he's like.
Shred you.
I was like, you're joking. This is when like,
Do you want to get
all of
shredded
our
on
chefs are
TV?
all scared by like the sound of Marco Pierre White or Gordon Ramsay. You're like, ooh. You're obviously like massively inspired by them, but at the same time, you knew they were scary people. So we were like, nah, we're not doing it. And we were chatting with our best mate then, and he was running our accounts. And he said to us, boys, are you full on Tuesday lunch? We're like, nah, we only do like 2 covers or whatever. Are you full in the evening now? Well, do about 20 covers. He's like, what about Thursday? What about Friday? And he went, so why the fuck are you not going to do this? Because you're going to publicise yourself, you're going to be full. Isn't that the whole point? Of like, the more money you're making, the easier it is, the better. Then you can buy those bits of equipment, what you keep going on about. It was like sous videing and stuff like that back then, when it first came around. So it was like, yeah, you got a point. We were like, oh, okay, well, yeah, let's explore it. And then before you know it, you're kind of like, yeah, you're signing the agreement. And we're just shitting ourselves. So yeah, as soon as he came through the door in Westmore-on-Trim, and you're just like, this is weird. You just scratch your head, it goes so weird just seeing Gordon Ramsay walking up and down the courtyard. And do you know what though? He loved what we did. He kind of understood that we were doing something what was a bit crazy and different, but he kind of liked it. And I think he just seen the creative side of us. And yeah, without that, it wouldn't, you know, it helped push Casamia further, because other things came from it. Like we did this whole pop-up on Royal Festival here in London,
Right.
and it was from Electrolux, and they were basically doing this whole new branding of their products to cook at home, like ovens, inductions and stuff like this, but taking inspiration from their professional range. So they were getting the best chefs around the country to basically cook. Why me and John Wade were invited? Well, I mean, we were Michelin star then, we were good chefs, but like, there wasn't really a reason for why we should have been a part of like Sat Baines, Claude Bossy, Simon Rogan, Tom Kerridge, what were like all the heavyweights of the industry back there, Daniel Clifford. And it was just like, yeah, me and John Ray. And they were like, yeah, come and do this. And then we're like, yeah, but we don't use Electrolux. We can't afford to put it in the kitchen. We would love it, but we can't afford it. And without them, like, we wouldn't have done our whole new open kitchen, what we put into the restaurant, what changed Casamia again. Because they pumped in back like about 110 grand, 20 grand maybe, of equipment into us. And also give us like another, tens of thousands on top of that to just do this pop-up here in London. What was the coolest thing ever? It was like one table, 22 covers, open kitchen, this weird ass box, what just looked amazing, sitting on top of Royal Festival Hall. What was like the ultimate pop-up basically. And if we didn't do Gordon Ramsay and stuff like that, like we would have never had the opportunity. And it was only for the guy just seeing us on TV and went, oh, we want these guys to do it, because we've got all these great chefs, but let's have some people who've been on TV, who are like in their, basically they're in their like early stages of their development. It'd be really cool, good dynamic for it. There we go. And then other things moved on forward from that as well, just from being on the show. So yeah, it was good. It was good fun, but it was hard. It was fucking hard.
Was it?
Yeah, it was fucking. It doesn't even justify what was on camera. I was like, they should just filmed everything, every single stage of like the whole. We had to do this pop-up in London, and we had like 6 hours of planning to do it. Going around to the markets to pick up ingredients.
Really?
We were split by the front of house, so basically our mum, dad and another person, because you had a team of 3, you were separated straight away from them. You weren't allowed to talk, so they had to like design all the front of house, everything to do with what plates we're going to serve on and stuff.
In 6 hours?
And I was like, oh God, this could be a disaster. Whilst we're writing a menu and we're like, well, what happened if we ain't got that plate to be able to serve that dish in? And then going into the night time, 5 o'clock, starting, bang, 80 covers, boom. And you were just like, fuck. And I remember we were up against Neves of Sabor, but at the time it was Sam and Eddie Hart were doing the front of house. Neves was opposite us, and they were representing Fino. Was the before I think it was before Barafino opened. Right. And I was like, we're fucked. We're so going to lose this. And we managed to just prosper and win. It's so funny, but hard. And we all like, even to this day, it gives us like chills. It's like
just sort of survive by the skin of your
teeth. And Gordon
was
like, it was basically, you weren't supposed to succeed. It was basically just putting you in the biggest pile of shit and seeing how you react to it, how you get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Whether you can actually just, see it through and just serve people some food, because that's essentially all we're doing.
Trying to make an interesting TV show.
And I was like, you know what, fair play. And everything Gordon did was legit. He didn't do nothing as in like, oh, can we do that again, Gordon? He was like, nah. He's like, fuck that. One go. And everything he said was like really direct. Even after cameras, he was like, fuck all this other shit, what's going on around us. This is what's happening. He was so so into it. It was weird. It was so weird because we just thought, oh, it's just all TV and it's just a persona. We were like, if not, he's even more funnier and even more outgoing when he's off of camera than he is on camera. I was like, it's just bizarre. And that was somebody who you like, you know, he was one of the true great chefs in this country ever had. Like,
still doing all right, isn't he?
Unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
Shows you how far you can go though in the industry, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and he wanted it, and he got it, man. He wanted it, and he got it. He managed to make it work. But his personality is like nothing. You don't meet people like Gordon very often. I've never ever met no one like him. Still to this date, I think he's just a one-off. That's why he's so successful at what he does.
It's just these characters like Heston as well, isn't it? That's what I mean. What does it take to get 3 stars? Because like at the moment, personally, I think some of the best flavour, the best restaurants that I want to go to in Britain are 2 stars.
Yeah.
Like we're going to Ledbury, aren't we, tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's going to be wild. And obviously Gaz's place in Wales,
Finally.
2 star.
Yep.
You know, Sats, 2 star.
Yep.
They're all like serious food, aren't they?
Yeah.
And your 3s, I think they're more about you've got to a level where you completely change the game and you become an institution.
Yeah.
I went back into the staff area at Fat Duck. I did a little stage during the COVID time. Yeah, just for a laugh. Just with Ed and where Ollie Bridgewater used to be there. He's up at Sauce at Gilpin now. And they just let us in.
Oh, really?
To just like prep some asparagus for the day. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
It was cool, man.
But you were like,
yeah.
we're doing it right, chef. Next peel.
They let me, you know, like the little latte sort of like sticks with a little whisk on the end.
Yeah.
They let me froth a little sauce.
Did they?
Yeah.
You were like, oh yeah. Is that for the sound of the sea dish? Is it that?
It might
I
have
swear
been,
that's
you
where
know,
he
for
has
a
a load
foam.
of froth, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
yeah.
you go in the back and you walk from the sort of, they've got a separate kitchen just for the team. Mm-hmm. So they've got like your staff meal. One guy's just making all the staff food for everybody.
Yeah.
They've got a canteen. It's really good. They could do some like demos in there if they want to do like a tasting or whatever.
Yeah,
it's cool
I think
space.
I've seen pictures of like that.
Yeah, but when you go up to the office, up the steps, it's got all the old Michelin plaques going up the stairs.
Oh, really?
1 star,
Really?
1 star, 2 star,
That's
2 star,
cool.
3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, bang, bang,
Go
bang,
again,
bang.
yeah.
You're like, fucking hell.
Man, Heston was one of those things though where he took it to another level.
Yeah. You can't deny it though,
just
can
like,
you?
if he managed to do it, that was always our thing. I remember Sean, do you know a chef called Sean Hill?
I don't know him
He does
personally.
the walnut tree in Abergavenny. Yeah, Walnut Inn. Don't know if I'm getting that right. It's Walnut Tree, I think. Anyway, Sean Hill, he opened up Merchant House,
Right.
what was in Ludlow, where Claude used to have a biscus, like Claude Bossy.
Yeah.
And it used to be this like, and then you had Mr. Underhill, Mr. Underhills? I don't know whether I'm saying the name right. But there was this like little gastronomy of like 1 or 2 star restaurants. But Sean, his restaurant was basically in a house running off of like gas, a little stove, his wife served in front of the house. And I always remember he got into like the very first list of like the world's 50 best.
Really?
Yeah, it was like the very first list. So I obviously dug deep and I was like, oh, he's from Gidley Park, that's where he's got all his stuff. But what he used to cook there and what he used to deliver and the way people used to speak about it, you were like, there's no excuses, man. Because like the kitchen, what he's working in, he hasn't got all the lavish things, what you need, so what you think you need to be able to run a really successful restaurant. It's like basic stuff. But because he's such a fucking good chef, man, he just cooks amazing food and people loved it. In his house. And then there's obviously Heston cooking out of sheds. So I'm growing up in this industry, you're going Fran Adria, Thomas Keller, Heston Moonfell, Sean Gordon Ramsay, and you're like, okay, so if Heston can cook out of sheds and get 3 Michelin stars in that kitchen, because the Fat Duck kitchen used to be
nothing,
tiny,
yeah.
and then we even went there to, I think it was my 21st birthday. We went there, so it's still, I think it was #1 in the world at the time. Yeah. And it was just turned 3 Michelin stars as well. And I was like, they fucking produced that in that kitchen. No excuses. I was like, any excuse you have, get rid of it, because if they manage to do it, you know, if you're good enough and you put the time in, the dedication, anyone could do it.
They also didn't have much internet to research back then. Never mind social media to look at what other people in the industry are doing. They had to really go out there into the wide world, I still think that the downside of social media is it gives you a pass to not get out there and try the real world, meet interesting people, see interesting things. When I'm traveling, like I love going and trying these sort of like really high-end pushing restaurants like what we're talking about, but when you went to Mexico and you were trying all the crazy like local food, and like when I go to Japan and I like just wander down the street, that's where you kind of get your real inspiration from. You need to do a bit of it all, I guess.
Yeah. A lot of it comes down to you know, it's everything, man. It's everything. This is why it's so difficult for someone to really, you know, go at it hard, because it takes a whole story to, you know, that's why I'm like, Casamia was destined to close, like to end. Right. I was like, because it had to. I was never going to, even if we would have got 2 stars there, what arguably we could have done, maybe coming back from COVID, I look at it and I go, we had everything there. We had the structure. My God, if we would have just refined that over COVID and opened as still the original Casamia without going black and everything, we could have got 2 stars. I was like, we could have definitely have done it. Would we have ever got 3 stars? Probably not. Because I wouldn't have learned a lesson of like, you know, knowing that you want something so much. The lessons we learn from opening other restaurants. You know, sometimes you can only get to the top by failure. That's a form of failure. Like in my eyes at the time, as much as it was like everyone would be like, "Oh, you never failed. You did amazing things with Casamia." I'd be like, "Yeah, but I felt like I failed because I wanted it to be a business. I wanted it to be there forever." You know, there's a whole legacy within that restaurant with my brother, and like the fact of carrying on that whole history. So it had to end, man. But the fact that it's going to happen again is just like, you know you've got that one opportunity to do something unbelievable, and it's not for just like 3 Michelin stars, just to do something unbelievable where you put all your knowledge, all of this information what I've had over years and years and years of like cooking, eating, put it into that one place what you just love and you call home. Well, it's a home from home. That to me is the reason why I want to get up in the mornings from a working point of view. This is cool, man. I love this shit. This is amazing. This is unbelievable. This is everyone's dream, to open in London and have a successful restaurant.
Yeah.
It's everyone's dream. But man, if you're not like 100% happy, you just gotta take it and just go with it and go, you can do it. Believe in yourself. Like I think self-confidence is a real thing as well. I think if you don't have the confidence, then you would fail before you even open. So you've got to believe in yourself, you've got to believe in a vision. Even though I don't fucking know, and if you go, what exactly is Casamia going to be tomorrow? I'll be like, I don't fucking know. 100%, I do not know. I'm building things, and I've got endless pages of scripture, of like my sketchbook, not sketching dishes, it's sketching ideas of like the vision, the bigger vision, and it keeps changing from the top. So it's always like an edited version of what you wrote before, but it keeps evolving. Don't even know what my point is. It's the fact that you have to have a bit of belief in yourself.
I just think it's going to go, just to watch where it's going.
Saki, mate, it's kicking in.
I think just to watch where it's going to go, mate, is going to be something that like, I'm really looking forward to. I mean, you've already got a successful business. You've already got so much experience, and I suppose that I think the negative things that happen in your life and your career are equally as important to growing you as a person as the positive things. If all you've had is positive things, you're not going to be a balanced character. You've had the highs and definitely the lows, and I think where you're going to go in the next few years, I'm personally really excited to find out about that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for chatting to us today, mate. It's been absolute class.
Bloody pleasure, mate. Whenever, wherever. Let's get sake on the menu. Let's make it big.
Let's do it. Cheers, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, bro.
Forks like a podcaster. We sushisto.